Welcome. Sit down, roll up, pour up, turn up and tune in. Because you're now watching the Bunch of Bull Network.
What up, what up, what up? Welcome to the world's dopest podcast, the Marley State of Mind podcast, down here at the Bunch of Bull Studios, like we are every week. Tonight, I got my man Caleb,
What's
Sensei,
the word?
in the crib with me. You know how we doing.
I'm always in the crib with you, bro. I'm just behind the scene.
Yeah, for sure. He's always here. You know, they shoot the stash spots every Friday at 6 o'clock, so make sure that y'all, damn, that shit got loud as hell.
Yeah, they threw me off.
Threw me off too. You know, we shoot the stash spots 6 p.m. on Fridays. You can catch Sensei over there doing his thing as well. And like he said, he's always here behind the scenes. So tonight we want to do a little catch up, a little review of the season pass, some of the stuff we did this winter. We're going to talk about the Marley State of Mind podcast and some of the guests we had on, some of our favorite moments, some of our
A lot of interesting nights, man. There's a lot of interesting times, bro.
Have you had a favorite guest or favorite interview?
You know what interview I'm gonna say, bro. It's everybody in here. It's everybody in here's favorite interview, bro. Because too many things went on throughout that entire 2-hour podcast.
I feel like dude must heard us talking about that. I haven't heard from him or seen. Let me check something.
You know he is, bro. Like it was
yo, why do you niggas keep talking about that shit? Which one is it though? For those who may not know, which one?
All right, bro. I can't remember the name. Yeah, it was when Doughboy was on here, bro.
Doughboy.
And it was before.
What up, Doughboy?
Yeah, what up, bro? Yeah, bro. It's all love. But that was the funniest podcast in the fucking world, just because of all the things that were happening around the interview.
Yeah, I feel like bro don't even. He must hear us talk about that shit all the time. Cause I don't
No,
even see him
bro.
on my joint, bro.
Because it was.
What's his name?
Yeah, listen, it's all love.
No, we ain't
but
clowning
listen,
though. We ain't clowning. It was just
Yeah.
it was just an epic interview. It was 420.
But listen,
it was a lot of stuff that went on that night.
long story short,
yeah,
couple bro started playing music, and that's a real friend. You got to think about that. That's a genuine friend. But anyways, bro brought a backup dancer with him, and it seemed forcefully. But bro, anytime bro played music, he got up and was bro. And bro, we had bro in here in the tank top. He was sleeping.
Oh yeah, he brought the one homie with him. And it was 420, mind y'all. Again, I think we smoked bro out, and he just couldn't hang. He kept slouching lower and lower and lower throughout the podcast.
Bro, it's so funny.
And at one point in time, he was just out. He was just out during the
I think
podcast.
that was the first time me and you ever had an actual laughing experience. Because I remember I was sitting over there and I looked over at you.
I'm like, damn, bro, I ain't never see it. He was sitting right on the side of me. I ain't never see that before. He's the first one that
bro.
You get packed out sometimes doing these, and you know what I mean, just be like it'd be a thing. But I ain't never seen nobody get packed up and out,
bro. No, bro. There's a lot more that went on. Obviously, I ain't gonna tell everybody's.
No, make sure y'all watch that episode.
Yeah,
man.
bro. Go watch the episode.
Go watch the episode.
Yeah,
That's a good transition, man. And if y'all tuning in, make sure you like, subscribe, share, comment, especially comment on the YouTubes, man. We know y'all be watching, but make sure y'all
interaction is key. If you want to keep us going, keep us flowing, interaction is key, man.
Yeah, for sure. We like that shit, man. You know, we're down here at the world's dopest podcast.
We be trying to explain that on the podcast, but we be too fried, bro.
Yeah, I know I forget all the time to say all that YouTube stuff. Like, share, and subscribe. But yeah, no, that Doughboy episode was definitely a classic, bro. That whole joint was and it was good vibes, man. Like I said, we ain't clowning, bro. But it was just a lot of moments took place. He has to know a lot of moments took place, right? Like that shit was funny, bro. Like you can't deny that shit was funny.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, if you can't recognize that,
yeah, like then you don't. Yeah,
you don't
the hell with you.
Yeah, you don't understand your entertainment
I just
value and personality.
I'm thankful for them that this is a recorded podcast and it's not just strictly audio.
Yeah.
Because imagine if he didn't know if we only did audio and he didn't know that and brought a backup dancer.
Yeah, man.
And bro's dancing for nothing.
The bro's dancing on the radio. No, that was a good one. That was a good one. I'll never forget that one. That was
10 months ago.
10 months ago. That's
Man.
crazy. Yeah, 420.
Almost
That
a
was
year.
damn. That was last April.
Yeah.
420. Yeah, we're almost about to be into the next 420.
Oh man,
But
so
that was
much has
perfect.
happened in
420
between
fell
that
on
time.
fell on that Saturday. Yeah.
So much has happened in between that time.
Um,
The Millie Banks episode was fun too, because I was like kind of like, bro was out of town, and it was just kind of like the first time me and you were just kind
Yeah.
of fucking winging it. Like,
yeah, I'm sorry you missed that one too. She was cool people. Millie
she was
Banks
cool peoples. Her whole camp was cool peoples.
Yeah,
I will
and
say
her story was really dope too, man. She shared a lot. She opened up and she was telling me like she was like, I usually don't open up like that. She was like, I appreciate you allowing me to have that moment. But yeah, Millie Banks is a dope artist from out Cali. She got here courtesy of my man Dion Dupree, Mr. Grind Mode himself, man. Shout out Dion, what's up, bro?
that. Shout out you, bro.
But yeah, Millie Banks is a dope female artist out of California. She does a lot of dope stuff. Make sure y'all check out that episode too, man. She has a great story to tell. She told about a lot of her struggles and and how hard it was for her just growing up in general. And then the transition into the music and her to have the success she's been having was really motivational, bro.
Yeah, bro.
So I appreciate her coming out here from Cali to do the world's dopest podcast. That was definitely a good one.
Who else? Misha pulled up on us with
Misha.
the snacks.
Yeah, Misha, we need you back for
Yeah.
for some more of them good snacks, man. I be seeing,
Church.
yeah,
Church.
she had the grapes and the
Peach rings.
the grapes and peach rings. It was candy
Yeah,
grapes.
bro.
Jesse ain't mess with it because Jesse don't mess with fruits for
Yeah.
some reason.
Alright.
I was trying to tell him it was some different shit for real. It wasn't just no regular fruits. But yeah, Misha, make sure y'all check her out too. Misha does a lot of stuff with not only baking, that's kind of her her main thing, but she also does. I already know you got some sweet shit with you that I can't be fucking with. But she also does beat making, which was interesting. She said she was classically trained, which is dope. And she found a way to take her classical training and transition into hip hop. She was talking about her love for hip hop, and it's funny how hip hop just transcends so many things. No matter where you start off at, a lot of people end up getting into hip hop because it's so versatile. You know, what I mean?
Especially in the world of sampling, in the world of kind of like interpolation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where it's like, hey, I can incorporate this classical song or this early 70s, late 90s, mid 50s, whatever time period song.
Yeah.
I can incorporate it into my beat, or I can use interpolation. I watched a video of DJ Mustard talk about it. And it's like how he made that beat for that Chris Brown song where it's like the doon doon doon.
That's not Chris Brown. That's what's bro's name? 24 Hours you're talking about.
No. That's relatively the
Does it
same
sound
beat.
similar? Yeah.
But it's like that was that one where he was like,
Rhythm is a dancer.
no.
That joint sounds.
Yeah, it's almost
similar.
the same. It's almost the same cadence, like almost exactly the same cadence. But Mustard was explaining to the person recording the video that he was like, yeah, if all I got to do is like speed the tempo up and change a couple keys, and it's technically not the same thing anymore.
Yeah.
Which is kind of self-explanatory. Like you
Right.
can do that with anything, but it was just cool to be like, okay,
To
like,
actually go through the mind and his
yeah.
process of it.
But it's
yeah.
just you just take something that was made however long ago, whether it's recent or older, and then you just turn it into something with a little bit of
Drill beats out of Party in the USA.
listen.
Yeah, that's
yeah,
crazy.
the NYC, like New York drill, like all this
Yeah.
modern New York drill, they love sampling. Like it's
Sampling
not
is such a strong part of hip hop too. Like from the beginning of time, that's what hip hop was based off of. Sampling. They took records and they would mark them and they would sample them, and that's what started the whole thing with hip hop. It wasn't any real instrumentation. Like it's evolved since then. I mean, people make original loops and original things like that, but it all came from the turntable, spinning and mixing and chopping up records, and that was the birth of hip hop. So sampling is a strong part of it. So shout outs and that's a good transition too, man.
shout out
to
Jay
all the-
Dilla. That's what that's the
shout
moral of this.
Shout out. I was gonna say shout out all to all the producers that came down to the podcast.
I feel like a lot of things wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for Jay Dilla.
Jay Dill is definitely one of the pioneers super dope sound.
I was saying earlier that Soulja Boy is a very, very, very hidden pioneer in a lot of things.
Yeah,
When
for
it
sure.
came to like the early
I don't know if
2000s
it's-
of
I don't know
like
if-
internet rap.
I think people it's turned into like a comedy thing with folks, like they make it like a funny thing.
But in all
I
all
think people
seriousness,
understand and know what he means to the game and how important he was to the internet era.
but
You
at
know
the
what I mean?
same time, it's like everybody is like in it. It's like an instance of boy who cries wolf. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he's the first person to do everything. But if
Yeah.
you do your research, like bro, like
He
there's
is-
a lot of
he is
a lot of
the first,
cases
yeah. Mm-hmm.
where it's like, yo, he's telling the truth. Like he's just like that old grandpa that barks at people on the porch.
Yeah.
Like except he still looks like he's at least like 29. He might be like 30 something. I don't know how old Soulja Boy
I don't
is.
know how old he is either. He started off young when he came into the game, but that's a good point. Like Soulja Boy is one of the first people to be viral. You know what I mean? With the whole Soulja Boy.
He was the first rapper to put internet or put rap on YouTube.
Was he for real?
I'm almost certain.
I feel like that can't be true. That's not true. That's not true. That's not true. I don't believe it's true.
That's the first rapper with a damn ring pin in there.
That's not true either. No, it's not.
Yes.
No, he's not. Don't drink the Soulja Boy Kool-Aid. No, there was ringtones out before that. There was.
It's
hella
no
ringtones.
secret that Soulja Boy was the first to utilize YouTube as another avenue for sharing music.
The first to utilize it as another avenue. He's not the first one to put hip hop on YouTube.
He put
This
that.
man
That's
has
saying like,
through the phone as everybody's ringback tone.
but that's what I'm saying. Like, yo, he was the first person to utilize it as like, yo, this is where my music is. Like, you know what
like
I mean?
blogging
Like
and
YouTube.
shit like that. I think is more what they're speaking to. Like stream. Yeah.
We were just talking about it earlier too. We're like in the age of like burning CDs, ripping CDs from like LimeWire, FrostWire, places like that. You'd go on there, you'd download a Blink 182 song, a Maroon 5 song, a
Yeah.
fucking a whoever song, a Black Eyed Peas song. It'd be fucking Soulja Boy.
Yeah, that was brilliant.
'Cause, like,
that was
that's-
brilliant marketing.
Yeah, like there was an interview where he was like, yeah, like that's how I used to like promote my music.
Yeah,
Where
that's
it'd be
brilliant.
like you'll burn a whole fucking CD of Jay-Z, Katy Perry, Maroon, like I said, like
What a-
Maroon,
Yeah,
and
whatever's
then you just hear,
popular.
You
Whatever was
bing,
popular at
boom,
the time. Yeah, that's
bing.
brilliant. But yeah, man, shout out to all the pioneers. And like I said, as far as production go, man, we've been fortunate to have a lot of like producers on the podcast, and I think it's important, especially because the whole Pittsburgh area is so rich with talented producers. You know what I mean? Producers have been in the industry.
In the age of the internet, the producer and the engineer have become significantly more underrated and more unappreciated than what they should be.
Yeah, I think that's just because like it's so accessible now.
Yeah, that's what I'm like. That's
To do that
that's
shit.
like in the age of where you can go on and be like, I want to sound like this person. So you type their name and type in type beat, and there's 5, 6, 7 different YouTubers that are putting out beats. Where you go on
Right.
their Beat Stars, and for $20 you can get the
beat.
non-exclusive right for it,
Yeah.
where you can put it on YouTube, you can put it on SoundCloud.
Yeah.
Like,
No, for sure, and it's tough, man, and I think, like you said, they're definitely underappreciated, and I love working with producers that I know. It's something that you can't get from just the type beats. When you're working with a producer, you know, like they can do things to customize it and personalize it in a way that you can't get it there, and that's why I love working with the producers that I work with. And shout out to the producers that have been on here. Most of them who I have worked with, J-Pad, the Juggernaut, who's a damn pioneer. I see you got some stuff going on. J-Pad's so fire with what he does, and he plays different instruments and stuff like that. Of course, my man Samaj, who's been on here a couple times with us.
shout out Samaj.
Yeah, man, Samaj does some great stuff.
Opened his crib up to us. That was love.
Yeah, opened the spot up to us. We did a session with him recently. And Samaj is super talented. Make sure y'all check out that episode, the J-Pad episode. Samaj, HG Prophet was with us on that episode too. Make sure y'all check out that one. And Samaj, the thing I like about Samaj, bro, is
He's real.
well,
That's
of course,
that
of
like
course
as like
that.
as like I'm saying like as a like a there is no moniker of like a I'm an engineer, I'm a producer, you know what I mean? It like when we pulled up, it wasn't like it was like nah bro, like y'all gotta like, you know what I mean? Like there was no rules, there weren't no regulations or anything. Like he was like, yo, make yourself comfortable.
Yeah, but he's also
We're
like
going-
family to me, so I
Yeah,
wouldn't expect anything less,
obviously.
bro. You know what I mean? What up though? Yeah, so yeah, that's the one of the things I was gonna say. Just musically, like he's so unique, and he's not afraid to do different things and be outside the box for real. You know what I mean? Like he,
Oh, I know he thinks outside the box. What he said to me was crazy.
yeah, yep. And he's like a fan of like Pharrell, and Timberland, you know, producers like that. So, and it really shows in his sound. And that's one of the things I like is because he likes to be different. He's not doing whatever the wave is, or you know what I mean, trending stuff. He's always trying to be on the next thing. You know, what I
Pharrell
mean?
is one of like my idols when it
Yeah.
comes to the aspect of like music in itself. Because as a creative, bro, he's just on like a next level.
Yeah.
And like he's created some of my like not necessarily created. He's like a lot of my favorite artists have taken like a lot of inspiration and a lot of like like advice from him because they work with him directly at this
Yeah.
point. Like Tyler the Creator, for instance,
Oh,
he's
for
a,
sure,
a
yeah.
major fan of Pharrell.
Yeah.
Who else? Pusha T, like in the Clips days, like it really it spreads like throughout generations, like from like modern music all the way to the early 2000s, early 90s when I wasn't, or late 90s when I wasn't even born yet. And he's just, it's just like otherworldly with the things that he can do. Like the first dude to be like, yo, I want to make an autobiography movie about myself.
Yeah.
But it's Legos, bro. You know, like it's like that's
Yeah, no, he's definitely cutting edge.
as simple as that sounds. Like it's just like, yo, nobody else thought of it. You know what I mean?
He's always cutting edge. He's always doing something different. He's always looking at next. And you know what I mean? And that's what
He's
I
a
was saying.
forward thinker.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying about Samaj and him being a fan of him. You can kind of tell from the sound because he's always doing something.
Oh yeah, it's
different.
all. There's always an experiment to be had. You know what I mean? Where it's like, yo, maybe we can do this with it, or maybe we can tweak this sound a little bit.
Yeah, and I think that helps the artist to step outside of their box and create too. Is when you got somebody who's willing to take chances and do different things.
Yeah, when it comes to engineers and videographers, I always try to give them like as much free like creative freedom as like they're comfortable with. You know what I mean? Like if you want, like for instance, like when we do videos with Cam, he'll be like, "Yeah, bro, do you have any ideas?" And I'll be like, "Yo, bro, just do you." You know what I mean? Like whatever you want to do, whatever type of shots you want to get, let's get them. You know what I mean? He'll be like, "Well, still, it's your video." You know what I mean? So I'm like, okay.
Then you'll add your input.
I'll throw out an idea and he'll be like, cool, and I'll be like, all right, from here on it's you. It's whatever you want to do, bro.
Right. Now it's important and I think that's a real collaboration too, right? Is whenever you're able to bounce ideas off of someone, whenever you're able to,
100%.
you know, working that way. It's a true collaboration between two individuals at that point, because you're both adding your different touches to it. So I think that's the best way to work with someone is to have a true collaboration with them. Who else we had on? Lil Sis interview was a lot of fun, man.
Yeah. Was I around for that one? I don't know. There was a few of these there was a few of your podcasts where I couldn't make it or I wasn't in the area or whatever.
Yeah. If y'all don't catch them live, man, you know they go straight to YouTube, so y'all can definitely check them out and watch them there. You know what I mean? And we've had a lot of great guests on. We had the West Virginia boys on here too, the Motown homies, Wolf Jones.
Shout out
Spike
my guy Wolf Jones. Shout out Spike Yee.
Coming down, and I appreciate or coming up for them guys. I appreciate them spending time with us. It was fun to hear about the scene that they came from and kind of the part that they play in the scene because I think those guys are very important.
Oh yeah, when it comes to Wolf and Spike and Z's and Lonely, man, I kind of look at them as like, you guys are like, if there were anybody that's gonna like come up out of you guys' there, Dinosaur, I can't forget about my guy Dinosaur Jim. That's my homie, for real. Because like we accidentally became friends.
Crazy,
yeah, we accidentally became friends, and that's the best friend I could have ever accidentally made.
Yeah.
But yeah, all those guys, they're my Mount. Not only are they like my Mount Rushmore of like West Virginia, but I personally believe they're gonna be the ones that kind of, if
shine
any,
some light on the area.
yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
They already are, you know,
No,
like
for sure.
they already. We didn't know about them until we met them, and then we were like, oh man, there's actually a lot of you guys.
Yeah, there's a vibrant scene down here for sure.
Shout out my homie El Sarcastic, because he's the guy who initially like introduced me into the West Virginia scene, kind of got me comfortable with the area, and then that's when I started branching out and actually meeting everybody else.
Yeah, man, and if y'all are interested in really knowing about the scene, those episodes with Wolf and Spike Yee are good ones to watch because they talk about it in great depth. They talk about their perspective on the scene and who were some of their inspirations and some of the people that they consider to be pioneers on the scene. and it definitely taught me a lot. That's one of the things I like about doing this too, and interviewing with artists, is I always learn something
Yeah.
from those individuals that I'm talking to, because it's such a conversation.
Even if you know them already, you know
even
what I
if I
mean?
know
Like
'em.
you just happen to ask a question where it kind of they can indulge in that conversation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're
Or it
like,
might
oh
give me a
man,
different perspective to their creative part. Like, I've gained a lot of respect just having a conversation with artists on this podcast. Like, ones that I wasn't that familiar with, or even ones I was familiar with, and I get to hear about, you know, their story, and then they could tell me what inspired. Like, I might be familiar with the music, but I might not know where it really came
you
from.
can see how their clock ticks. You know what I mean?
For
Like,
sure. And I think whenever you have a different vantage point on somebody's creative process, it makes you appreciate it a little bit more.
oh well, yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's like I said, the Lil Sis episode was a lot of fun, because I known her for her whole life.
She's a real artist.
And like, just some of the stuff that she's a real artist. Yeah, like some of the inspiration for her work, some of the inspiration for the albums and the titles, and how they all connected, and how they really spoke to the moment that she was living in. And when you go back and listen to it with that different perspective, you're like, oh, okay, I definitely see the vision now. I can definitely see the vision. And
Once
and
you
where
get
it's
to
drawn
once you
from.
get to understand how they think and how they operate as people, you understand the lyrics on like a little more of a deeper level. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not in the aspect of like, oh, now you're picking up bars that you didn't necessarily pick
Catch
up
before,
Yeah,
yeah.
but it's like, okay, I understand that, like, why it's this
Why it's
song
being
is
delivered like
why
this.
yeah why this song has this type of tone to it, or why it has this much passion in it, or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, and I'm glad you said that, bro, because that's like the whole purpose of this, right? Is for so the viewers. Can you go back to that screen, Jesse, and leave it there? Because there's one I do want to talk about that's on there, and I'm not going to remember if it's not there. Is that this platform gives artists that ability to actually tell their stories, and let people get to know them, because I think that's how people really get connected to artists, and that's why content has become so big, because you want to know the artist that you're listening to, you want to feel the connection. There's an artist from Pittsburgh that did that really well, and that's Wiz Khalifa with the whole Taylor gang. Like, he had everybody feeling like they were a part of something. And I think people are more inclined to listen to something when they have an invested interest. You can become a true fan because you get to know who the artist is. Now you're invested in their story. Now you want to see them become successful. And the other cool thing I like about this podcast and what I'm able to do here is it's not just for hip hop artists or hip hop engineers.
For anybody.
It's for any creative. You know what I mean? It's for anyone that's doing something in a creative space. One I had fun with a lot that was kind of impromptu was with Josh, when Josh came on with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle card trade. And we had a good time, man. It was like a 90s nostalgia podcast. Make sure y'all check that one out.
Shout out Josh, man.
Yeah, man. Josh.
We asked him if he wanted to be a part of like this wrap up. He was like, nah, man.
It's getting to be his bedtime.
Yeah, he's
Yeah, no,
old.
I feel it, man. No, I don't blame him. But it was a lot of fun. I think he had a lot of fun too. I think he didn't expect to have as much fun as he did.
Once you crack that
On
that
here.
kind of shell that he has, where it's like, hey man, I don't
Pun
really want to
intended,
do
because
that.
he's a Ninja Turtle. You cracked the shit.
Yeah, no pun intended. But once like it's like he's once you kind of get him to do it, then he's like, all right, I'm all in. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, and it was definitely a learning experience for me too, to see how someone would go through the process of creating their own trading cards. And I think if you guys haven't checked that episode, definitely check that episode out, because it's cool to listen to the journey and the process he's on, how he found an artist to work on the trading cards with him, and how passionate he is about this project. I got some cool gifts from that one. I always love when guests bring gifts, man. I get some of the coolest shit by inviting people to talk to me.
I did not bring one for you, brother. I
No, that's
hate to
cool.
break it to you.
Yeah, that's unfortunate, but it's cool. We ain't gonna hold that against you. But yeah, the Josh one was a lot of fun. I definitely didn't see that coming. Like I said, it was a '90s nostalgia. It was Nickelodeon down here for that day. So definitely make sure y'all check that one out. We got my man Nas from BA in the building right now.
Yeah, in the cut.
I had him come down for an episode, which was another one that was a lot of fun, because I known bro for a long time. Whenever he came here from the South, you know what I mean? I feel like I was one of the first. Is that fair to say I was one of the first people that you knew? Especially on some music type shit, huh?
Yeah.
And that was another good episode, man. Y'all need to check that one out. Nas from BA, an incredible artist. You always been one of my favorite. I'm not even saying that because you're here, but
No,
I
real
think
shit.
you know that you always been one of my favorite artists.
Yeah.
I got a lot of respect for your approach to music, and you know what I mean, Nas is one of those dudes who does everything. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Like, you can't even put him in a box, like from shooting videos to engineering. You know what I mean?
If Nas says he's gonna do something, he's gonna do it. That's the way I've always. That's what I've learned to understand.
And he's capable of doing it too. And it's cool whenever you see artists that embrace that aspect, because I'm not that artist. Like, all my friends are surprised when they know how little I know how to do with anything that I'm involved with. Like, I can't record myself. Yeah. They be like, "Oh, you don't know how to record, bro?" I'm like, "No, I don't know how to record. You ain't got no studio in your crib?" "No, bro, I don't got none of that shit, bro." Yeah. But I like the people, I like to trust the experts in that. You know what I mean? Like I could change my P trap at home, but that motherfucker might leak. So I'd much rather pay the plumber to come and do it so I can ensure that there's no leaks. And I feel the same way about my music. You know what I mean? Like, I can probably learn to engineer a track, but I trust my engineers and those guys much more, because they've been working at the craft, they've been doing it, and I just don't got the patience for that stuff, bro.
You pay for the experience. You don't necessarily pay for the task.
No, I pay for both.
Well, yeah, but like,
sure.
it's more or less the experience that you're paying for. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I pay for both though. I want somebody who's going to take it more. Like I said, I'm a completist. I'm not a perfectionist, and I need someone who's a perfectionist to balance me out, because I just don't like, I want it to be done. And I want it to get out.
Respectable.
Instead of just making it like the best thing ever. Like, I got another homie who was on the show, Shawnsky, and Shawnsky he's a perfectionist, bro. Like, Sean will listen to a song over and over again. He'll get it, and this is no knock, bro. I wish I was more like this. I'm not like this. And he'll get it mixed, and he'll send it to me like, "How's this sound versus this?" And I can't tell the difference, bro. I'm like,
I'm the same way. You've seen it. Like, I'm
Yeah,
like, no, I need another take.
Yeah, like, that sounds the same to me, bro. Like, it sounds the same as the other one. He's like, "No, listen to this part," and he'll be amplified. I'm like, "Yeah, I guess I can hear it." He's like, "Yeah, I got to get that change." You know what I mean? And I admire that quality about individuals, because I don't have that.
I think that's just the age barrier.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we live in a time no more where you really need quality.
Yeah.
Nah. Yeah, you hear the
Yeah.
blown out
Super. Nas is saying, like, quality isn't as important in this day and age now as it once was, which is true, because a lot of guys that I was putting homies on, like, my youngins just drop music off BandLab. They don't even have no mixing. They just drop it just the way it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. I should get you on this side of the camera. Nas, you come in. We just doing a little wrap up. But yeah, man. So yeah, Nas is yeah, you good, bro. But yeah, he's definitely one of those artists that I seen evolve and come from just being an artist to I shouldn't say just being an artist, because there's a lot that comes with that too. But he's not only an artist, but he's multifaceted in the fact that he could do videos, he could do your recording, your mixing, all of that stuff. And like I said, I admire guys who are willing to take that on, because I'm not willing to take that on. That's not for me. Yeah. You got tired of waiting for other people.
Imagine you is going to people, right?
Yeah.
Expecting, like you said, you go to a pro.
Right.
You go to the plumber, and you don't fix the shit.
Yeah, he don't make it right. Yeah, Nas is saying, like, his necessity of starting to learn how to make and doing everything himself came from working with professionals and expecting, like, professional grade work.
Yeah.
And then you don't get the outcome that you're looking for.
Yeah.
And how disappointing that is. You're spending your money, your hard-earned money, with these individuals, expecting them to give you a certain quality, and then they're not delivering on it. He even used the analogy that I use, like, imagine you pay a professional plumber to go fix the pipes, and after he's done, your pipe's still leaking like it was before. Like, damn, bro, I could have did that myself, and I done spent bread with you. And so I get that, like, and I've had those experiences too, where I've paid individuals to do stuff for me, and it didn't turn out the way I wanted it to.
I have as well. Even in I've been on and off with the music since 14. Like, obviously, when it was from 14 till I was about 18, 19, it was all in-house.
Yeah.
Bro, I remember we started, it was 2015, we was rapping off Cool Edit Pro 2.0 off a computer that was, like, half put together. You know what I mean?
Made for that, right?
Like, so it was at my Aunt Becky's crib. We're in a closet where we got blankets up, so it's like soundproofing.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I've been there.
And that was around the time I met Nas. I met Nas around 14, 15 years old when he had the studio across the street.
Yeah.
obviously he seen the people I was with. It really wasn't nothing going on with that. But then later down the line, obviously we've crossed paths again in a better case, in a better situation. But it's like, yeah, there are a lot of situations where you'll go to somebody with an expectation, hoping that it will be like, oh man, I'm gonna sound like this or I'm gonna sound like that, and it ends up being
hello
what you want. You know what I'm saying?
Y'all hear me out there?
I kind of agree with both of you where I kind of agree with both of you where in the same aspect of it is like, man, I'm about to just go learn and do it myself.
Right.
There are a lot of situations where it's like, I know somebody that can fix this. You know what I mean?
Straight up.
Like, everybody knows somebody. You know what I mean?
No, 100%, bro. No, we got Nas in the building now.
What's up, everybody?
What's happening? Another episode that I had a lot of fun with was we had the homies from the Damn Lands on here, right? Jesse introduced us to the director, producer, and writer of Damn Lands. And that was cool. You know what I mean? That was different to have filmmakers on here, independent filmmakers. Because it's a lot that goes into filmmaking, bro.
Oh, absolutely.
It's a lot.
That's a whole different aspect of like artistry and creativity. Because not only do you have to be creative, enough to write a story, but then you have to be creative enough to create a slew of characters that all have their own personalities, their own traits, their own things that they go and do, and then the script, everything like that. It's
For real.
It's
I don't think.
Essentially, you have to build an entire world.
You got to build a world.
For real, I don't think it's never like making a movie. It's like never a one person thing.
No, it's never. You couldn't.
Like,
even in short
It
film,
always takes.
it's like you ever do some shit where you need like a second opinion. Even if you
Oh,
know how to
yeah.
do it, you still gotta go. Like,
music, bro. I was
bounce-
gonna say,
bounce
even all of us
ideas
can.
off of people. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, for sure. And for them to give us a sneak peek into their world and show us what went into them making the film, and that's another thing I like about my format that I have here, because I try to make it educational as well. You know what I mean? I always try to make sure my guests drop jewels on the viewers, you know what I mean, and just from their experiences, you know what I mean? You could take it or leave it, but there's a lot to be said for experience, you know what I mean? We all go through different paths, and we might not know what it takes to get to the end of the path, but we know what steps we already took that didn't work, you know what I mean?
No, that's a fact, bro.
Sometimes it might be a cautionary tale, you feel me?
No, I feel that.
We all know
100%,
something the other one don't. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, in just in a matter of a brief conversation or a brief interview, in just a matter of 6-7 questions in an hour, you can learn a whole lot just based off.
100%.
Oh, hey, I've done this. This is how we did it. These are some of the little tricks or like cheat codes that I learned throughout it. And your filmmakers could be watching, short film creators could be watching, short story makers, like whoever, and they're like, that would help. You know? What I
They
mean? Like,
didn't even know about that, you know what I mean?
It's like I feel like that shit like close to like an author writing a book for real.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
I feel like writing a book is even harder than making a movie.
It's so much similar. You know what I'm saying? Like
You're creating a
the
world.
process, like.
Because
Like,
like
I mean, if you peep, like most movies come from like a strip. You know what I'm saying? So I not maybe so much as a book, but you know, growing up, you probably read books where it was like, and it'll have like Marley. What you saying?
Yep.
Can you feel me? That's
It has
kinda
the dialogue.
That's
Telling
kind
the
of like
story.
when you, that's kind of like when you.
it has like a dialogue
yeah,
It's like a
transcript.
screenplay.
That's
yeah.
kind of like reading a movie. You know what I'm saying? So it's
Exactly.
like doing a play. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I think like to do that shit is like you had to have some type mind as like a storyteller type. You know what I'm saying?
And that's why I feel like writing books is so much harder than writing a movie, because I feel like with a book you have to be so much more detailed. You the reader has to see a movie without
That's
seeing
why
the
if you
movie.
see- if you peep most movies from books, it take a lot of.
It would take a lot of
shit
stuff away. Like it'll be like, oh,
They
this
can't even
didn't.
fit it
Right,
in 2
you gotta
hours or
think
2 and a
you
half
read a Harry
hours.
Potter joint. That joint so thick, you're not gonna. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, they can't fit 1,000 pages in
Right.
2 hours.
Factual.
Yeah.
Factual.
In love with animes.
Because they try to fit it all. They do a series, yeah.
Because they make so long of episodes,
Right.
so many episodes.
Well,
it's so hard.
even on the top of when it.
Get like it would be, you know, with movie shit, you know, that shit on some time shit. You
Yeah.
feel me? Like
Yeah.
your longest movie might be
Yeah.
Avatar.
Yeah, nobody's
Yeah.
gonna
Feel
sit
me?
there
But
for 5
nobody
hours and
gonna
watch it.
A series might be a 10-hour series, but they
Right.
might break it up.
Break it
But
down,
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? So
Titanic was 2 discs or 2 VHS.
Yeah, yep. And that's what Jesse was saying. He likes anime because anime is able to squeeze all of that in by making it a series.
Because they use a lot of pictures. You can see what's happening on top of like brief dialogue that like explains the situation. You know what I mean?
I ain't never really know about the anime shit.
You ain't never really fuck with anime?
But like Dragon Ball Z,
Yeah.
you feel me? Like, and I never really knew that. You know what I'm saying? I never really got on that wave.
Yeah, Dragon Ball Z, I think, took the hood by storm at one point.
Yeah,
in
that
time.
was in the hood. I ain't gonna lie. Like my neighbor, he put me on.
Yeah.
He was from Cali and shit. I didn't even know about. You feel me? Like
Yeah.
he taught me how to draw the little Goku. You feel me?
Yeah.
That's how I even got in tune. He gave that's word. The Dragon Ball Z so old, this shit was on the VCR.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, that shit was out.
They
Yeah.
gave me a cassette. That's what we feel me. Like we start.
You got in
watching.
tune.
Yeah, I swear to you, bro.
There are series
No,
of
I can't.
animes
What you got?
that, like,
We'll talk about that. I
my
need
nephews
Crunchyroll
and
or
like
something,
your
huh?
kids wouldn't
I can't
even
find
know
it on
existed
Netflix.
just because of how old they are. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, that shit transcends generations though.
It was
Like, it's
like-
the crazy thing about anime.
my nephews wouldn't know about Dragon Ball GT. That's how old it is. Like
But they'll tell you about Dragon Ball Diamond.
yeah,
Right,
that's what I
right.
mean. Like that's like it's
That's
there's
what I'm saying. That shit transcends
it's gone so
generations.
long.
And like the older they get, they're gonna want to dig into that old shit. They're gonna be like, oh, let me find out about where this came from.
No, that's a bit fat.
Another creative that I had on recently, which was real cool, is my man Sean Devon of Daily Bread Refresh Shop, co-owner.
Yeah,
that
that's
was
a
dope
historic
that was dope
episode.
that he came down, man, and showed some love. I got on some Danny Devon stuff right now. You feel me? I always like their gear, man. They got good quality. I'm always get complimented whenever I got one of the anytime I got something of theirs on, people were interested in it. And Sean Devon gave us a lot of good game about entrepreneurship, being an independent business owner, and from someone who's successful at it, man. Throughout COVID and all sorts of stuff, they were able to maintain. They were able to maintain their shop up there, Refresh, and it's such a staple in Pittsburgh hip hop. I'll tell y'all this, right? It's funny. I'm shooting for this TV show. It's a popular TV show that's on Paramount. I don't know if how much I'm allowed to say about it.
I would say that's all you gotta say, bro.
The new season didn't come out. Yeah, but I'm shooting this popular TV show, and one of the assistant directors had a Daily Bread hat on. She's from Brazil, and I seen that Daily Bread hat. I was like, oh, you're wearing my friend's brand. She's like, oh, you know Daily Bread? She's like, we went on the Mac Miller tour, and this was a part of the Mac Miller tour in Pittsburgh. So it's funny, like how synonymous they are with Pittsburgh, Mac Miller, and all the things people know about Pittsburgh. And it's such an international brand, and those guys were able to be so successful. So to have someone like him tell us, you know what I mean, this is how you run a successful brand. These are the things that I found to be beneficial to me in running this successful brand. And that's that's the thing I love the most about the show is like you can get some good game off of this. Say you're trying to build a brand or doing your own merch, you can go ahead, check that episode out and find out what he's done, what he hasn't done, what he tried to avoid, and I think he gave up a lot of good information.
Oh
Nah,
yeah.
I just like that's good though because I definitely like just watching the shit how it's not boxed in.
Yeah.
You know, like you would think like being like you know just knowing you and what you would think it'd be like more it'll cater to more what's you feel me? But that shit really is like expand. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It go far and that's
It go
that's
beyond
big.
hip hop.
Yeah, bro, it's big.
Yeah.
Like cause it's like some of the people I seen up here like all different. You know what I'm saying? Like, they do at every angle. They
do
all
everything.
Yeah,
different-
I think
so-
you've touched every corner of creativity
No,
when it
that's a
comes
fact,
to
bro.
interviewing.
And it's just like, you know, a matter of time before it's like, you know, it's just, you know how that shit is, bro. We just live in a time now. It's just anything could shake at one.
Oh, yeah,
at a
bro.
spur of the moment. It's overnight shit now.
And like
You
I
know
said,
what
it's
I'm saying?
for me. It's also like it's. I always like to give to artists. You know what I mean? Whoever I like to try to do as much as I can for artists because that's what I want people to do for me, and that's what I wanted people to do for me.
Whether it be a
throughout my
platform
journey.
or an ear.
Yeah, anything. Yeah. So that's what I hope this does for them. It provides some content. Of course, content is king in this era.
What you think about that though, far as like on the local tip, like I feel like they like shit like this is like something you should embrace more. You feel me?
No, I mean, bro, I always think that I don't know how to put this. I'm not gonna try to be politically
But
correct.
this
I'm
is
just trying to make
essential
sure I
though. Like
articulate
you know,
it.
you gotta utilize it. Like I feel like
Right.
at my time, like if I was, you feel me, really that on that, I would know this would be
One of the places I
you
need
feel
to be
me?
at.
Yeah,
I think people are starting to understand that now because of how many people do reach out for
Right.
me to be on here, and some of the things that we're able to catch on early. Like
This is something you want to
But
do.
not even, it's just even how it trends, the market it in right now, like
Yeah.
podcasting and shit. Like that's just something that's, you feel me, that's in the know, that's in the knowing right now.
Yeah,
so it's
and I
And
think-
not even
I
he
think-
has that like interview and present, like the presenting personality.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like
feel
he's our Morgan Freeman. You know what I mean? Like if we need something narrated, I'm calling Marley.
I feel it.
Like, but
yeah, no, I think it's starting to become that, Nas. I'm glad you said that though, and that's one of the things that I kind of wanted to be. Whenever I started, like I wanted to be that platform that people seen Nas on there, like, oh, Nas is on there, I want to be on there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They see Sensei on there, like, oh, Sensei's on there,
yeah,
I gotta be a part of it. And I think that's starting to happen because people will reach out to me
I feel it.
and they'll be like, hey man, how can I get to be on your podcast? I'm like, well, this is a good first step, bro. Just reach out to me. Yeah, make sure if y'all watching and you're a creative, I prefer you to have something out that people can view and see. But I'll take you at
Tap
any
in.
level. Like we're not too big
Tap
for
in.
anyone. But make sure y'all touch in with us, man. Bunch of Bull Studios, man. Marley State of Mind. Make sure y'all get a hold of me or any of the individuals around, and we'll definitely hook you up and give you a platform to be heard on. But yeah, no, that's a good point, bro. That's one of the things I wanted to be, because I felt like as I was coming up in the game, we didn't have anything like that for real. Like shout out Nuke Naka and
We had
Junior
no platforms.
Moth. Pirate City Radio, they was certainly like that coming up. That was one of the things I wanted to be on. Rest in peace, Moth.
Especially a local platform, you would have
Yeah.
had
Yeah.
to like go a distance to get any like notoriety.
You feel
like,
me?
You feel me?
Yeah.
So this type of exposure and
Oh,
and
yeah.
I, like in niggas prime,
Yeah,
bro, motherfuckers would have been like
If-
soaking
yeah.
this shit up. No lie.
Right.
Like,
You know,
obvious-
no funny shit. This shit would be like, it would be frequently used. Like,
yeah.
obviously I'm in a situation where it's like, yo, bro, like it's still useful. You know what I mean? But like if I knew if I knew you and you were doing the podcast like when I was running rampant in the music scene, doing shows all the time, bro, I'd have jumped at this full force.
Yeah.
I'd have been like, yeah, I need to be here. You know what I mean? Like I was like,
Yeah.
just knowing, after how many episodes I've been behind the scenes or a part of or watched or whatever the case may be, it's this is definitely like an interview you would on a large scale or even like a local scale you would want to be a part of.
Yeah, for sure, man. I think it's cool whenever people want to reach out and be on here. We had an interview recently with Sav, right? And she had all that controversy going on, and a lot of people were just tuning into her, whatever it may be, the viral moment and all that. And to have her on at the time that she came on, I think it was very cool that people got to know her. Because I think there was a lot of misunderstanding about who she was and what she had going on. And hopefully, and I think from Sav, you can always correct me if I'm wrong, I think from my conversations with her, she felt like she was able to get a better understanding, or people were able to get a better understanding of her after being on here. Which, you know what I mean, that's what I want, bro. Like I said, that's at the end of the day, you know what I mean, it's for artists, it's for creatives
To clear the air.
to have a platform.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, to have another platform, because sometimes when you're doing social media and it's just text and words, a lot could be misconstrued, right? You really can't get your point across the way you want to. But when you have like an hour format of telling your story, speaking your mind, and sometimes it might just be people have to get familiar with you. You know what I mean? They might not be familiar with you or know what you're about. And when they get a chance to get familiar with you, once again, that's when they get that sense of investment in you. Now they want to see you win. You feel me? And that's all I want to do. I want to see people win, man. I ain't never on no hate and shit. If I see somebody in
Church.
a place where I want to be, that motivates me to step my game up. You know what I mean?
Church.
I ain't
that's
never
a big fact.
I ain't never one of them dudes like, man, I can't believe he made it. Like I'm like,
I'm asking for tips.
yeah, I'm glad you made it, bro.
No, I'm always happy to see motherfucker, you know.
Yeah.
I'm the
It
smartest
ain't-
nigga in the room. I don't want to be in the room, bro.
Right.
But it's like it's gonna be like that when you don't have that type of, you know what I'm saying? Some people-
mentality.
yeah, you ain't
Yeah.
got that mentality, bro. Like, I just feel like when you got ill intent, it
Yeah.
already just put that.
No, for sure. There's
Mhm.
people
You
like
know what
that, bro.
I'm
That they can't even look at it at the way that I'm talking about.
Yeah.
It
That they
casts
can't
a
even
shadow.
begin to
Right.
think about it
It
like
casts
that.
a very big shadow. That like
It's like some people, it's like that. Your mom might say like, you ain't used to nothing. Like, you know
Mm-hmm. Right.
what I'm saying? Like when you used to like that shit don't really phase
Phase
you.
you, yep.
You know. But I think it just be to the people that ain't really.
you got to go through it to understand
Yeah.
it.
But it's like I done even with the struggles though, even with the hardship, I still feel, hey, bro, your win is your win. Cause even my struggles, I like to see motherfuckers that get out of that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. But some
For
people
sure.
hate that shit. Like,
Yeah, they don't know what to do with that, and it's an emotion that's natural, like jealousy, envy. Like we all gonna feel that at some level or the other, but it's it's what you do with that feeling once you get it.
Yeah.
Like you can let it motivate you, or you can let it you can let it get you down. You know what I mean?
sure.
It's like a scar. Like you know what I mean? Like what you gonna do with pick at the scar, or you gonna try to heal that thing up? Like
I was talking to Jesse earlier, and we were saying, I told him I was like, it's like this. I was like, the whole thing is like a bunch of apples. There can be a bunch of spoiled apples in the mix. There are two options. You can either toss the entire basket, or you can
pick through the good ones.
Yeah, you know what I mean. And then that's really, you take the good with what you take. You take the good with what you can, and then the rest, it's you just
do whatever you have to with it.
It is what it is, bro.
Applesauce.
No, I ain't making no applesauce.
Not with no rotten apples.
No,
for sure, man. And that's one of the things. Let me pull the list back up. Let me see what other interviews. The Daily Bread, after we had Sean Devine on, we also had Billy Hoyle, my man, on here. Another super dope producer in between. Has a Tom Bomb, Daily Bread connection, and Jayhawk, who both had great stories. They played us some dope music that they're both working on. I'm going to be looking forward to that. Those guys are super... super, I get that from my son. My son be saying super all the time. Everything's super. He's super hungry, super thirsty. But those are some very cool individuals. Furious Styles, man, that's my bro. He came through with the gifts. Remember I told y'all I like getting gifts, man.
Shout out Furious Styles,
Shout out
bro.
Furious Styles.
He came
Mr.
through with
God
the heaters.
Damn it.
So you guys should have a rolling tray.
Yeah, we do got the rolling tray right here, man. My man Furious Styles. Make sure y'all check out the Smokers. Make sure y'all check out the Smokers Lounge podcast with Furious Styles, man. He came down here with the rolling tray.
He came heavy too.
He had the grinders for us. He had the pocket grinders for us. Man, what a dude, man. And he had a great story to tell. He told us a story about him getting signed, Nas.
Come on now.
It was hilarious. Like he said, he was on one of the back of the magazines. I don't know if it was Source or Double XL. It was one of those magazines, right? And it was like you can get signed to a label. And he said he submitted to it to get signed, right? Make sure y'all check this episode out with Furious Styles, man. And he said they end up getting signed, but they end up owing the label all sorts of money. Like they did some like underhanded stuff where they like, you know what I mean? Like he ended up having to pay money, like, pay us money for consideration. And man, make sure y'all check out that story. He said he got bamboozled with the label, but he did end up, he had a lot of wins throughout his story too. He ended up selling the song to the NFL. Nas, one of his songs went big. He sold it to the NFL for like 10 bands, he said. So that's wild, bro. And it's cool to hear about those stories of those wins. And once again, that's one of those things you hear. You're like, yeah. Like, you could be envious of that and be like, damn, bro got 10. Like, I need to be getting 10 bands. Or you could be like, how'd you do that? How'd you go about doing that?
Oh, that's crazy.
You know what I mean? And you get some good game and figure out how to get a placement in something like the NFL. And he said it was just part of his song. They wanted to buy the whole song, but he negotiated with them where they only bought part of his song for 10 bands.
Shit, that's hard.
Make sure y'all check out the Furious Styles podcast. Make sure y'all check out the Smokers Lounge.
Like being in your car, driving with your family, you turn a song on. It's like, did you know I own this 20 seconds right here?
Yeah.
We own that.
We own that 20 seconds of the song, bro.
That's
we just
crazy.
That song out 10 bands for every couple minutes.
That's a nice little come up, though.
That's a nice little come up for sure.
You can do a lot with 10 bands if you know what you're doing.
Man, what? Yeah, if you don't know what you done.
You don't know. We also had Hollyhood on here, man. Shout out Hollyhood. That's the homie for real, man. Representing the ladies. Hollyhood is a Pittsburgh pioneer.
Make a little 2K. Like, shit.
Yeah. Oh, for real, you can. Hollyhood's one of the pioneers. She definitely put on for female MCs in the Pittsburgh area. She was telling us about how she put together some all-female events. Because there wasn't enough of that. She felt like it wasn't enough of that presence, and she definitely put on for all the
some
females.
more diversity into the
That's
mix.
hard.
Yeah. She said she found all female DJs, all female producers, all female MCs, and put on some great performances like that. So, you know what I mean? Once again, whenever we're joined by pioneers in a game like that, it's always humbling for me.
No, that's a fact, bro. I feel that, though.
Have a conversation with me. It's cool. That was a lot of fun. We have my man Mink Sinatra on here. Mink just got back from Cali. Mink's doing some stuff right now, man. Make sure y'all check out Mink Sinatra. I seen him dropping some videos.
You low key had a big year, boy.
Yeah.
That's a lot of. I'm saying you got a lot of emotion.
Yeah, man, I'm looking through this list and I'm like, bro, I can't even remember which ones I
boy
was here
Pete,
for.
my boy
which ones
Pete,
I
my boy,
wasn't, like-
my boy P had slid through here.
Yeah, JP.
Yeah, my boy P had came
Mr.
through here.
724, man. Yeah, of course, man. That's my bro. Got nothing but big love for from JP. And the funny thing about JP, there's a lot of that's another individual, right, who gets a lot of people misunderstand or don't understand enough about him. And I think that's unfortunate because he's one of the coolest individuals you ever
Man,
meet.
that's crazy.
One of the realest individuals you ever meet.
Yeah.
And he's always willing to look out for individuals and do what he can
bro.
do for folks. And yeah, man, he had a lot of good game for folks too, man. You talk about somebody who was on good stuff early, who knew about, like I said, he was vlogging before.
Definitely ahead of his time.
Yeah, just so ahead of his time. Made sure he had videos out. Like, shout out Mr. 724, man. JP was definitely in the building. Also, conversely, we had Rex Romo in the building.
That's what I was just about to say. We had Romo in the building.
Yeah, shout out Cash Cow Clothing, Cash Cow Music. It's
like
just
a genuine pioneer in local fashion. Like
pioneer in local hip hop too, man. It's funny.
No, I'm not sleeping, but I'm saying, like, man, I was thinking about it earlier because I scrolled past one of their posts. Like, they're getting so tapped in, like, locally, man. Like, even the local schools are starting to tap in. Like, it's really starting.
No, of course that part. But
them
with
boy
that being
killing
said,
them with that drip.
That's one of my favorite MCs. Certainly in Fayette County, one of my favorite MCs all time was.
I'll never
Yeah,
sleep
that
on nobody
Fayette County,
bro.
Fayette County got a lot of talent.
A lot, bro.
There's a lot of rappers around here, bro.
Yeah,
that
for
really, I ain't even just saying motherfuckers that currently rap. I'm just saying, like, period. Like, that from the past too. Like, niggas that don't even be on that shit no more.
Yeah, for sure.
I swear to you, bro.
Yeah, and he's definitely one of them. Him and Luco was down here with Kills, and they told us some dope stories, of course, about the fashion, the Cash Cow brand,
Right.
what they're doing with that. Romo also shared with us about being signed early on with Panama Records, and his connections with a lot of different artists from Pittsburgh and how they got tuned in there and plugged in there.
That's hard.
Just a lot of cool stories from him sending the jacket to Coil Ray, going crazy and having that viral moment. And he told us about the investment. Once again, there's another person who gave us some good game about business and being an entrepreneur. He has the brick and mortar store now in the mall, and like you guys were alluded to, like, it's going crazy. Everybody's rocking the brand from doing work with the schools.
We got the youth.
Yeah,
The last time I pulled up to the storefront, a mayor of some, like, local town in this area just pulled up, like, was just in there and was like,
We
yeah,
got
man,
youth right
I just
now,
came
boy.
check
Like, all the
everything out.
kids
Seems
fuck
like
with
we
that
got-
shit. That's where it started, for real.
Yeah, the youth, man, and it's important. They embrace the youth too, right?
Oh yeah.
From the
In
stuff,
this area, you have to.
from the stuff that Luco
That's
does.
who's gonna
with
spend the cake.
The youth is everything.
If you
around
get the
here.
youth, who's spending the money on? Your parents gonna get that. Gotta go get that shirt, that sweatsuit, all that stuff, man.
Spend plenty of money
You know
on
how
my
that
kids.
stuff go, man. Get them kids spending that stuff.
For sure.
At
Definitely
the
got
end,
my
you
kids
gonna be
some,
rich.
Some Cash
That's
Cow.
right. That's how you got to do it.
And my kids love the Cash Cow. They ain't even in this area necessarily, and they love the cat. I brought my son. He's 5.
Exactly. You
The,
are,
the
hey.
Cash Cow Rex, the T-Rex joint looked like Reptar, and he went crazy. He's like, "Where my T-Rex shirt at?" That's all he be asking me. Where my T-Rex shirt at? Yeah, so shout out to them boys, man, for doing their thing. And once again, just giving us some good game about from how to make your merch successful and how to brand your merch, and he certainly got the game to give. Who else we got?
That's
Oh
hard.
man, free my man Johnny Mace, man.
Come
I don't
on
know what's
now.
going on.
Free
Johnny
Mace.
Mace got the
Free all the guys on it.
fake
Slam
profiles
man.
and all sorts
Keep
of
it
stuff
fake.
going on with Johnny Mace, man. But free the real Johnny Mace, man. We had him
Free
on here
Mace.
for an interview, and Mace has a great story. He's very open about his how he was in addiction and how he fought out of that, and how he struggled with it. And it's cool when people are that vulnerable and tell you about what they're going on, because a lot of people be embarrassed.
As an artist, at the same time, and as an artist, you got to be vulnerable. They're gonna dig it up anyways.
Yeah, maybe. But still, I'm sure it's not an easy. I can't speak to it, but I'm sure it's not an easy thing. to have to- to have to get
speaking
into.
on certain
No, that's a
situations.
fact. Yeah.
Speaking on certain situations, yeah. Like I said earlier, if you didn't go through it, you can't really necessarily.
Yeah, you can't speak on
understand it. Yeah, you can't understand it or speak on it. But
You
I'm-
can't tell me how it's gonna be.
Yeah,
You
and
never
then
did it.
when I said that they're gonna dig it up anyways, I said it like in the day and age of the internet, there's nothing that can't be found. You know what I
Maybe.
mean?
I don't
Certain
know.
information.
It's just
Certain
like
information.
yeah, the internet. You feel me? But it's like even with the internet, like that's like people can go put that shit up there.
Oh yeah,
make
You
some-
know,
that's
yeah.
gonna take
yeah,
some
and
off.
with that being said, not everything on the internet is true.
Right, but
Yeah.
even with Google, Wiki, all this shit,
Yeah.
man, there's people putting that shit up there how they
Exactly.
see fit.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Shout out Johnny Mace for you know what I mean he's an amazing artist, a grinder. You talk about an individual who's always active. Johnny's always
Fast.
dropping something, doing some
For the
cool
people,
stuff.
for the people too.
That's hard.
Yeah,
for the people.
Sure.
I think the last time I seen like something from the legitimate
That's
Doughboy
hard.
page, it was for the coat drive.
Hard
Johnny
body.
did the coat drives for the youth, man. Yeah. And he's super active, always making videos, always working with artists. He had this Gotham City project. We had features from all these artists from the city, from Hardo to Fed.
Come on now.
Johnny Mays is a talented dude. With,
He was on
with
tour.
with a lot of drive. Bro.
Yeah, I seen a few posts about him being on tour, all the pictures and
Yeah,
things
yeah.
like
Come
that.
on now.
Yeah, he talked about that. Make sure y'all check out that episode, man.
That's
He talks
hard.
about all that. We also had our first Grammy on the show. My brother
You
Nate
said
Fox,
Grammy?
man. Yeah, Grammy. Yeah.
Nate Fox.
Shout out Nate Fox for coming down and showing love, man.
That's hard, bro.
We had a Grammy award winning
You
producer.
really going off.
With a legendary artist.
How you got a Grammy, motherfucker? You finding
Yeah,
motherfuckers.
hip hop album of the year.
You really put it.
It wasn't for a single. It was for hip hop album of the year. Coloring book by Chance the Rapper.
The first
He need
mixtape
to
to
be-
win a Grammy.
He need to be a
historic.
manager.
It was that was the album. That
For
was the
real.
album. Coloring book was the album.
Mm.
That's
Which one
hard.
was the mixtape that won the Grammy?
It didn't. I don't think it won a Grammy, but you're talking about
It got nominated.
Acid Rap.
Yeah,
He won. It won. Or it got nominated.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I can't speak
Okay,
to
that's
it.
hard.
But make sure y'all check out the episode with Nate Fox. I'm sure he spoke on it. I
Facts.
can't recall
I
exactly if
believe
he
you're
did.
right, but I just want to.
Yeah, just
yeah,
tap
yeah.
in. Goddamn.
That was another fun one. Somebody dropped jewels, man. I know Nate for a long time. Me and Nate met on my come up of doing music. He's one of the first producers that I ever met.
That's
And
hard,
even
bro.
back then, he was talented. We used to like compare him to Kanye back then. And then Nate just kind of, I remember the first time, I talk about this on our episode too. I remember the first time I found out all the stuff Nate was doing. I was living in Portland, Oregon, on the other side of the
remember
country,
that.
right?
That was a
What
minute
was the
too.
coloring book?
Yeah. He talks about it on the episode. Definitely make sure y'all check it out. But I was on the other side of the country, in Portland, Oregon, and one of my homies over there was like, "You gotta listen to this Chance the Rapper." I'm like, Chance the Rapper? I'm like, all right. So he's putting it on and shit, and I'm listening to it, and I hear this voice that sounds very familiar, and it was Nate Fox, and it said Nate Fox on there. I'm like, there's no way that this is my homie Nate Fox, right? It was Pusher Man by Chance the Rapper from Acid Rap. Nate does the
That's
hook of that
hard.
song. And I was like, no, I was like, there's no way. So I hit Nate up. I text him. I'm like, you know a Chance the Rapper? He just like, LOL. He's like, yeah. He's like, why you ask? I was like, yeah, my homie just let me listen to this project called Acid Rap, and we started busting up, and he told me the story about how all that came about. But if y'all want to know the story, watch the episode, man. Nate Fox, Molly State of Mind. Very cool. What else have we done on here? Yeah, we had our first Grammy, so that was cool. Of course, Scooter. Scoot came down of Wonder Hits. McKeesport pioneer, man. Scooter was showed some love too. He came down with his posters.
Harland Toad pulled up on
Harland.
us.
Yeah, I love Harland. That's my brother for real. Harland came down, and you talk about a story, bro, of inspiration.
That's why I had to bring him up. Like
yeah.
that was
I'm glad you
definitely a motivational. And
Harland, if you know Harland, if you knew Harland, which I didn't know him at that time when he was active like that. I know him well now, but I know people who knew Harland. And when they talk about Harland, like Harland was really into the trenches. You feel me? He was really into it, and he had a life-changing moment after he got shot that he talks about on the show, where he knew he had to change his life around. And now he does Christian hip hop. You know what I mean? He's giving his life to God.
a full transition,
hard, bro.
like
Yeah.
a full transition to a whole different
Yeah,
That's
bro.
what it's about, bro.
Yeah, bro was
like
really in,
side of the coin.
he was really in the streets, bro, and he decided to change his life and give his life to God. And I think he's, I can't, correct me if I'm wrong, Harlan, if you're watching. I think he's even more successful in this lane than he ever was before on the other stuff. You know what I mean?
Come
and I
on
think
now.
and that's just God working in his life, bro. And I just see what he's doing, and he's genuine about it. You know what I mean? Like, he's still who he is. Like, don't play with Harland thinking because he loves Jesus he won't do something to you. But you know what I mean? But he's not. He's you know, he doesn't mess around in the streets or none of that no more. He's in church all the time. He's working in the community, you know, with different people recovering. You know, he's on his own sober journey from alcohol. And I'm glad you brought him up because that's definitely a good episode to watch, man. Watch the Harland Tobe episode, formerly PK Pooh. Dapper Cool, yeah, that's my brother, man, Malik. Dapper Cool, man, smooth brother. He always stay dressed up. That's why he's Dapper Cool, man. The first time I met Dapper Cool was at a show. He does R&B, and he had a full suit on, bro. Like, you know, it's a hip hop show. Everybody else dressed.
That's how I met Dono Jim.
He had a full suit on.
Bro, damn near.
We gotta get Dinosaur Jim on here.
I'll hit him up for you, bro. I'll tap in with him.
Yeah, but Dapper Cool came on with the full suit, singing his R&B, doing his thing, bro. I'm like, yeah, I like this his style, his flavor. And he also has a podcast that he does called the Cool Brother Podcast that I was fortunate enough to be a part of. So make sure y'all check out the Cool Brother Podcast with Dapper Cool. We spoke a little bit about Dion Dupree of Mr. Grind Mode. That was another great episode with someone who's not even an artist. You know what I mean? He does a lot of stuff behind the scenes. A lot of promotion for artists. A lot of
behind the scenes people are the key components.
Oh,
they're
that's the people you need to know.
Yeah.
For me anymore, it'd be like I never forget I was at this event and somebody was like, "Oh, you need to meet this artist so and so." I'm like, "No, I don't. I don't need to." And no disrespect to anybody doing like, but I don't need to meet artists. You know what I mean? At this point, because what's going to happen? Like,
you've built a rapport with enough people to at least have a connection in some sort where it's
ain't nothing.
Right, you know what I mean? Like, what we gonna do? A song? Like, I don't.
You don't need.
Yeah, ain't no need for that. I mean, we can do a song.
I need.
unless it's a genuine connection
Money,
where it's like,
like,
oh, hey
yeah,
man,
the money. Like, for real, 'cause I really got a lot of other shit established. You feel me? Like,
Right.
I don't need none of that.
Yeah.
Right.
I really need checks. You feel me?
Right.
Contracts. What we
Something that's gonna turn into something
feel me?
else.
Shit
Something
like that,
lucrative.
man. All that other stuff, man. I done did a million songs.
You know what I
feel me?
mean?
Like,
Yeah.
ain't
That's
it,
how I feel.
it obviously ain't the song.
Right.
You feel me? We need money now. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
we
saying?
need something
like,
else.
We ain't doing that because that's what's the longevity. Like, you gonna giving me distribution shit like that. You
Right.
gonna give me like little deals if you got little, even if it's like shit down, even like simple as shit like social media. You feel
Right,
me? 'Cause,
yeah,
like
for
niggas
sure.
coming up off TikTok shit like.
Yep.
If it ain't shit pertaining to that, bro, it's really useless.
Ain't no need for
because it's
politicking.
Like shit you already did.
Right.
That's
No,
like-
100%. Like, we got a million songs, bro. We need some other stuff
Yeah,
now.
I ain't trying to do
We
that.
need to push them songs, find out ways to promote them songs.
So it's all love though.
Yeah, and that's not saying not to meet artists, not to network with artists. Of course, that stuff is necessary and it's going to happen. But there's things beyond that. Like, knowing the people behind the music goes a long way.
Yeah, it's all love.
Yeah, it's definitely all love. We had Greg.
Sometimes, you know, just to say that, because, you know, people will get it.
Oh, misconstrued.
People take, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And you
Getting
sometimes
their
you just
feelings
got to
about it.
understand, like, people might just be, like, beyond that sometimes. You got to, like, as a lot of artists, like, you see a lot of artists don't even, it's great. They don't do it because
Yep.
they just be so beyond the music. You
Unless
feel
it
me?
really moves them to want to
Right.
do
Yeah,
it.
there are certain artists you can't even ask for a feature or pay for a
Come on,
feature.
man.
Like they got to come to you for one.
Come on, now. I'm trying to tell you, like, shit. Hell
So
no, it
it's
ain't.
more to artistry than just
Yeah.
being an artist.
Like the time is worth more than the money
They
at
might
that
not
point.
even, it's like they might not even want money.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You hear a lot of like motherfucker stories where they said they like, yo, they ain't even charged me for that verse. You
No.
feel me? Some of the biggest verses, like, you
Yeah.
like, what?
It's just a blessing.
That-
It's
you
just the
ain't paying
alley
for
oop.
that?
Like it's
Yeah.
just
You
like,
know what I'm
huh?
saying? So it's like that tells you a lot. They beyond. It's beyond that. Like,
No, I've seen that. I've seen a cool story that you say that, Nas. From remember that group One Republic? They did that song with Timberland, Too
Yeah.
Late to Apologize.
damn, that's hard.
The lead singer was talking about like he did the song with Timberland and called him to try to straighten out the paperwork, and Timberland was like, "You can have that." Like he was like, I got, you know, he's like, it's going to benefit you more than it's going to benefit me. Not on no cocky shit, but
Right.
just like,
Bro, it's
You can have
beyond-
100% of that.
It's
I don't know
alley-oop.
why none of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
And he
big.
said, and dude from One Republic was like, he's right. He's like, I bought a house off of that song. You know what I mean? It definitely benefited me. You know
Man,
what
you
I mean?
gotta think that song is like gonna pay that man forever.
Yeah,
Like, you
forever.
ain't gonna never not hear
And
that
there are
song.
certain-
Yeah.
You might hear that shit on the movie right
Yeah,
now.
I might
And
play it
there's-
on my way home. Shit.
And there are certain people that like you said where they hit that tier where it's like it's not even about the
money.
music at that point. Like they know what they can do for somebody.
Shit,
where it's
man,
like,
I mean, look at how big One Republic is.
Yeah, they're huge.
Feel me? Like, come on.
Off
That's
of
what I
that
like.
jam.
Like for
right,
instance,
yeah.
like Doubling Back, Pharrell, Timbaland, people like that. Like if they even touch one of your songs, like it's
It's outta here.
It's gold now.
You
You
a
know what I
overnight
mean?
celebrity,
Yeah,
bro.
that's what
So
I'm.
Your inbox gonna change.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? Got all types of motherfuckers want you to come here. Fly to New York. Can you fly to New
It's
York?
like even with all the
Like, you turn to a bidding war for real.
even being a
Just
Drake,
like that now.
It is
even
like that.
even being a Kendrick Lamar fan, and like you can't deny that like even in all that beef going on, even though like despite what I was gonna like what I was
I know
saying
what
is
you're
like
about to say.
despite the beef, like because regardless of that, like that's music at the end of the day. But when we talk about legacy, there are a lot of people that we have to thank, like a guy like Drake, like
Yeah.
a man of his stature for
Drake
like in the
put on-
music
Drake
industry.
put on a lot of artists, bro.
Block Boy JB, Lil
Yeah.
Baby,
Yeah.
like,
A lot of artists.
and
Just
they're
by having them.
Drake got that effect though.
Mhm.
He hop
That's
on
what I'm like.
bro,
Yeah, he
just
hop on
saying.
your
yeah,
joint,
like
yeah.
it's like I said, like he's
See
up
what
there
that Migos,
where
he
if you
hopped
touch
on
it,
that
Yep.
side.
it's on
He
there.
hopped on that Block Boy shit. Block Boy. ain't
He's
did
gonna
no
turn you
other
into. He's
really-
gonna turn you into an international star
Yeah.
overnight.
Block Boy ain't really do nothing. You feel me?
Nah.
But he still probably got motion.
Oh,
wherever
yeah.
he at.
100%.
He had his little run off of that.
You always come up off that. That's
Mhm.
beneficial. Whatever Drake charged him, even if he did shit, it benefit that man.
Yeah.
You
For the
know,
rest of your
all them
life.
niggas.
For the rest
It
of
was
your life.
worth it.
Yeah.
Whatever he charged you, whatever he charged him, it was worth
When
it.
he hopped on that Versace, like even though I was already familiar with
the
the Migos, but
yeah.
it took them niggas to a whole nother level. Boy. And
They
a
blew
couple-
up way faster than what they were.
a couple
initially
Boy,
going.
Tuesday boy. The
Mhm.
Tuesday
Yeah, I
nigga,
love
swear to
Macon,
God,
yeah.
man,
McConan.
I never heard that
McConan,
nigga
yeah,
again,
McConan.
gang.
Yeah.
Never heard him again. I'm not saying he ain't. I don't know what he on because I don't really know. He ain't in his loop. But I'm just saying. I'm saying from what I see on him.
Yeah.
From what I seen,
Like
he ain't had. You feel me?
Yeah,
Goddamn.
McConan got some old other stuff going on.
Yeah, bro, came out. Did
He
that
retired
Tuesday
from
with
music.
Drake though. That bitch went up.
I think he does
You know what
acting
I'm
now.
saying?
I
And
believe.
that- you always gonna hear that song in the bar.
Yeah, and Drake stayed doing that with up and coming artists.
Exactly. So it's like he got that effect.
He did it with YG.
It's the Midas touch.
the YG joint. Kind
But
of.
if I
Third.
ain't gonna lie, I think like even anybody in that category, they hop on that shit. It's over. Like
Yeah.
hey,
It's the
Wayne,
Midas touch. They touch it, it turns to
like,
gold. Like
J.
it's,
Cole.
But you even got your regular them new guys now that might like Lil Baby or somebody.
Mhm.
Rod Wave like.
Yeah.
They
It's
can
just having the
feel-
name
they
attached
got-
to it.
You know, now it happens quick. Now you know,
Yeah.
back then you had to get
Shop
the,
it.
the B-Way them man. You might have to do that shit since like for like L years.
Yeah.
Now you can do that shit 3 to 5 years and be like LL. Man, people looking at you as a great. You already got
Yeah.
4, 5 platinum. Like, you see-
100%.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like we let like internet
Like,
help shit.
It speeded everything up.
It change shit. for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, the internet definitely speeded shit up. But yeah, man, no, it's been a great year doing this over the last, over the wintertime, all different artists that have came down here with us and really,
Nah, that's crazy. And it's
supported.
crazy that you say a great year because it's only fucking March. Or
Yeah.
April about to be.
Yeah,
So it's like shit.
we just getting started.
It's gonna be crazy.
We just getting
You know
started.
what I'm
it's
saying?
already been.
Yeah, we definitely got some things coming up. We're going to do some on location things where we're going to be shooting in some different locations too. Coming up, I got a couple guests that were generous enough to offer some cool spaces to us, so we're going to get some different looks.
That's hard.
We got some things that's going to be very exciting. Some guests that I'm excited about, of course, coming up.
Different looks gonna do it.
We're going to do some different, of course, not just artists on. We're going to have, we're going to continue to go down a path of having entrepreneurs on, having, filmmakers on, whatever you do, man. I'm always opening these doors up to let you, show your platform here.
For sure.
I got-
Especially, like,
I got like I said, a lot of cool stuff. I don't want to speak on it too ahead of time because, schedules do get postponed. Things do change around. Some of the things are fluid, but we definitely got some things that's going to be in the work. The on location stuff, I'm real excited about to get those different looks
Yeah,
in.
I know of one of them, so I'm pretty excited for that one because it'll be like my first experience into that setting. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah, that one's going to be cool. But yeah, man, no, I appreciate the people that tune in every week, that watch what we're doing, that support what we're doing. I appreciate y'all boys for everything that you do. Stopping by the show, of course, and all the support that we get from just artists. Artists come down whenever they get down here. They're always excited to be here. You know what I mean? Some of them travel from far, man. Now shout out my boy Strachey. I can't let that one slide. Strachey's from Chicago. He came down, show some love. Strachey always be on the move. I think he came up from Tennessee at that time.
Like you
for the
said,
show.
Millie came from Cali,
Yeah, Millie Banks came from
across
Cali.
the country.
Come on now.
It's funny, we got big
Cali, man.
we got big artists that come in here.
That
You know what I
shit
mean?
Man, motherfuckers different out here.
Yeah, man, and it's funny whenever I hear people complain, like people come from like an hour away or 45 minutes, like, bro, that's a drive. I'm like, man. And the funny thing to me, this is the one thing that bothers me about that. To what you were saying about people not taking advantage or not understanding. Like, if I was Gilly or Wallow, you would not say anything about the distance that you would have to travel.
Man,
They
what?
go across the world.
Yeah,
They'll
to come
just be
see me.
standing out there to see it.
Yeah.
To see,
Yeah.
feel me? Motherfuckers that just come from wherever and stand in.
Yeah.
Mike can't even get in.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Stupid motherfucker. I don't know.
And that only frustrates. Not saying that I'm Gilly or Wallow or anything like that.
No, you're getting there, bro.
But-
trust you're getting
But
there.
without the support of people pulling up like that, we can't reach those heights. So you got to
But that's
support.
how
You
it
got to do your
start,
part. Yeah.
You just gotta embrace it like it as if it is Gilly.
Yeah. No. That's how I feel about it. Like, it might not be that to them, but to me, yeah, that's exactly what it is,
But
bro.
I just look at it, even if not even a Gilly and Wallow, I just look at it like for a platform to utilize to like push your brand.
Right.
If you have a brand, I feel like, especially like if
It's a
anyone in this
bullhorn.
vicinity should have already been in here.
Right.
If you push
Why
your
haven't you?
brand.
Yeah. Why
feel
haven't
me?
you if you
Just-
haven't?
Just to like, even if you don't plan on, you got a real purpose. Even if you was just, you know what I'm saying, just should come show face. Like, I still feel like this where it started. It's a little
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
Even if you ain't got nothing going on,
It's
just to come,
marketing.
it's just to come be like, hey,
You
I'm
got clothes,
this
whatever.
person.
You're supposed to bring all your clothes up here, have them up here piled up, talking your shit. Like,
Mhm.
this what this about. It's a platform. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. I mean, everybody got different methods. I mean, that's just how I feel. I would do it.
Yeah. I
Yeah, I
think that's
definitely-
how you did it when you came, right? You had the merch. You had.
You got
But I
to.
wouldn't just stop there. I mean, this would just be one of the places.
Yeah.
I know that's the closest, and I could
Right.
get. You feel me? I know I could talk to bro. Like,
You got to run the
hey, you feel
gambit.
me?
You got to go through every.
And because a lot of people, you gotta think you might can literally hit bro up, bro. Like, yo, let's do it. You feel me? But a lot of motherfuckers, it ain't even gonna be as easy as that process.
Yeah, and it's not even
You
like
might-
you're
niggas like,
inapproachable.
yeah, let's do it, but drop this. And then we'll do the rest when you feel. It might be 10 bands, it might be or whatever, but bro, really giving free game. And niggas don't never soak free. You know what I'm saying? You don't soak
Yeah.
the free game, but then when niggas see you get a
when it's
certain
too late.
status,
When it's too
they
late.
start expecting shit. But then you the bad guy. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? That's how it should be for real. Most of the time, you'll become a bad guy. Because motherfuckers be looking like you should do it. But like when I gave everybody
When you had the chance to do it, yeah.
you
Niggas
missed
don't
out,
want to
you
take it
feel
till the
me?
bus leave.
Yeah.
So it's like, I just feel like you doing right. You just keep doing what you doing.
Yeah,
You know
for
what I'm
sure,
saying?
bro.
Like, that's with anything.
No, and that's what we're gonna do, man. We're gonna be here for as long as we can be here to provide the opportunity for creatives to get their stuff off, to have somewhere where they can talk about their journey, to have somewhere where they can promote their brands, promote your events that's coming up. You know what I mean? And we always look for sponsorship. If you got something that's going on and you want to display your whatever here, we're always willing to help do that. We just trying to build. Not trying. We are building something. For not only ourselves but for the artists, the local community, for the hip hop community, for the culture, bro.
Everybody.
You know what I mean? So, I appreciate y'all for tuning in. I see we got some heads in here. Y'all quiet though. I appreciate y'all tuning in tonight.
Real quick before we bounce,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
most important shout out you, bro.
I appreciate that.
Real shit, bro. Hundreds of I can't just off the top of my head, you've had to do at least hundreds, like 200 episodes. So after hundreds of episodes, man, you're still here.
We're just showing consistency.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like,
And that's just of
you
this
gotta,
of this go, you know what I
you gotta
mean? So
be
like
inspired by the
Yeah.
consistency, bro. Like,
Yeah,
you ain't
bro.
inspired
It's-
by
it's a
nothing
jet,
else,
like-
you know what I'm
I
saying?
appreciate
Just like
that.
because a lot of motherfuckers ain't willing to just
Yeah.
get up and do shit every day.
even despite
you know what I'm saying?
despite whatever may be
So,
going on in the
shit,
local
that's
scene,
how
like
that
you
shit
still,
go.
you're just like, nah, man, I'm me. Like I'm me. I'm gonna do what I'm doing, and no matter what you do, it always kind of affects anybody that's involved positively. So yeah,
I hope so, bro.
Shout
I
out to you,
appreciate
bro.
that. Real shit. I appreciate that.
That shit crazy.
good guy,
Yeah, no, man.
good guy award.
I appreciate. I mean, shout out Jesse for providing me the platform to be able to do this, to be here. Shout out you. You know, what I mean, you've stepped in for Jesse when Jesse wasn't here
Come
to
on now.
to rock the work, the behind the scenes shit, man. Shout out to the team, man. Shout out Nas. Shout out the whole team. Bunch
Takes
of
a village,
studio.
bro.
That's all love, bro. That's
Because
all
I
love,
can't
man.
do it
Takes a
myself,
village.
bro. I wouldn't be able to
So
do
we
this
out here
without
trying
y'all.
to make this shit straight, man.
Yeah, man, and that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna keep on rocking, man. And I'm gonna be here every Saturday for the world's dopest podcast, the Marley State of Mind podcast. Make sure y'all do like, share, and subscribe to the Bunch of Bull channel. You know, we do have Vision Talks with Greg Lamont, dude, here on Fridays at 2. They always call my show the Marley something or other. I don't know what the hell they call it.
You got it right.
Did he get it right? I wasn't even tuning in. Did he get it right? Good. And we also have stash spots on Friday, where the fellas are down here smoking the best of the bestest.
Come on now. That damn big gas like
Yeah,
that.
man, them zaz. So make sure y'all tune in with us there. And of course, I'm gonna be here next Saturday. We're gonna have a special guest for you, for the Marley State of Mind podcast, the world's dopest podcast, down here at the Bunch of Bull Studios. But until then, we out of here. Peace.